Awesome.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Pingle. Welcome back to another Collector's Haven. I am your host, and today in the room we have Blake and his Funko Pops. Yay!
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Applause. Do you hear the applause? It's happening. It's all for you. It's all
booming.
For you. Blake collects Funko Pops, and I love Funko, and but they make like 1 billion Funko Pops every month. But I'm going to show you some of mine, just because today is Marilyn. We were taping this, but today's Marilyn Monroe's 60th anniversary of her passing, I believe. And
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have that. And then I have every year I buy myself a Valentine's, and this is I think last year's. I can't remember when the Wonder Woman Valentine came out. This one I was really looking forward, and I couldn't find, and Target was like, this is a special exclusive during the pandemic, and I couldn't find it, and they popped up. I think they run a boat.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love that pop.
I think they run a boat. I don't know what about it. And then of course, every Pride, I buy myself my favorite Pride. This one was several years ago. And
yeah,
one of my favorite characters of all time, Jake Ryan from
Oh, I love it.
Yes. And of course, we can't start the show without showing one of my angels, the Farrah Fawcett.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I've never seen that pop.
Yes. And now I'm going to start with a weird question. When you get your Funko Pops in the mail, what do you do when they come damaged? Are you pissed off? Do you yell at them? Do you send them back? What do you do? Because both of mine came damaged.
Well, anybody who is semi-familiar with my content probably knows that I display my Funko Pops out of box. So for that reason, people think that I am silly for giving even any care at all about the box, but I don't know. I mean, I think that everybody's unique in their collecting journey. Everybody's unique in their preferences. And for me, even though I collect out of box, I have the box behind the pop on display. I like the option of being able to get the maximum value of a pop if I ever need to sell it one day. It's silly to act like you're not thinking about selling when you're a collector. So, things happen. Sometimes I change my mind about a whole pop series and I sell it off. I did that with my Adventure Time set from Cartoon Network a while back. Like, I like to have the pops in good condition. So it depends. If the pop comes really damaged, you can reach out to the retailer sometimes. But a little hack that some people might not know is that if you purchase a Funko Pop directly from Original Funko's website, funko.com, and you receive the box from them and it's damaged, or it's clearly something that's their fault, like they forgot the sticker, or there's like box damage but the shipping box wasn't damaged, so they just made an error putting it in the box damaged already, you can email support@funko.com within 3 days of receiving that package, right? So you send them an email and just say, hey, I got this pop from your website, it came damaged. And if they are comfortable assuming responsibility for the damage and you have photos, and it's within that 3-day window of receiving the pop, they will file you to get a replacement box. So that does not include the plastic insert, but it will be a brand new flattened box and it'll come in your mailbox. But the only weird thing is that they do not give you tracking. You do not know when it is being shipped. It's happened a couple times where I forget, and 3-4 months later, I just get a flat package in my mailbox and it's the new box. So that's kind of a fun thing. I don't typically go to those lengths, but sometimes the way to avoid it is just to pick it up in person and you get the pick of the litter, So but yeah, that's a little fun fact.
Okay, now I have some questions. So you keep all the boxes of all your Funko Pops?
Every single one. I only own one Funko Pop that doesn't have a box, and it was a gift.
Oh my goodness. And you said you sold one of your collection off. Now, do you miss it? Do you want them back, or why would you sell it off?
I don't miss it at all. I will say I have 500 plus Funko Pops. So there comes a time where, if it's even possible to say that I have downsized or that I have honed in on my collection because I have so many, you just kind of think about what is a priority for me. For me, part of that realization was my space. So a year and a half ago, I moved into this apartment and had never had so much room to do whatever I wanted with my collection. And so when I started displaying and being okay, here's a handful of pops that even in this new space where I have all the room I could dream of, I mean, I could always have more, but I found myself being like, I have this many pops that do not have a place on my shelf, or, these don't really work in the scheme of my Disney collection or my other collections. And Adventure Time is a cartoon show from Cartoon Network. I used to love it when I was a teenager, and I still love it. It's hilarious. It's like adult comedy, but like in a kid show, basically. And I just kind of decided like these aren't really something that I like need to prioritize. The only other ones I wanted were like really high value pops. So I just kind of decided like if I really wanted to complete, it would take a lot of money and time, and I'm not really interested in that. And I had a friend who was looking for them, so like I got to sell them to a friend who like gave them a great home, and I get to like see them in her content. And I haven't like regretted it since, except for maybe like moments where I wish I could create content with them, but that's pretty much it.
Well, maybe you have an adoption thing. Maybe you can just or a a play dates with them.
I can go visit, I'm not, there has been no tie cut. Yeah, that's kind of a nice way to do it too. Like I have so many friends that I've made through social media, but also just before social that I collect with, including my partner Matt. He collects Funko Pops, and
Oh,
there's
wow.
been times where I'm like, oh, like I have this Star Wars pop and I kind of don't want it anymore. I know there's a character you like do you just want it? And our collection basically one day is just going to be one big one anyway. So, there's been times where I do that, or he'll give me a pop, or I'll be like, oh, what if I display that with my other pops? And
So you steal them. That's what you're saying. You go in. You're like,
I am actually
la
a thief.
la 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a funny
He comes over and he goes, that looks familiar to me. What?
I'm like, oh, I got it too.
So when did you start collecting Funkos? When and how did that? I mean, for you, what was the love of going? Boom! That's what I want to collect.
Well, believe it or not, my first ever pop was a Winnie the Pooh Funko Pop. So Winnie the Pooh is like my main man. I absolutely love Pooh Bear. I have since I was little. My first birthday party was Winnie the Pooh. I had multiple rooms as a toddler, young child that were Winnie the Pooh themed. Even in middle school, high school, when I was too cool for school, I like had a Winnie the Pooh plushie on my bed. And then, as I came into adulthood, came out, became more like open about my love for Disney and just everything, kind of embraced more. My partner is really into Disney, and he's just always been my favorite. So 2018, I believe, Christmas, Matt, my boyfriend, gave me a Funko Pop of Winnie the Pooh, and he had like a little Santa hat on. He's holding a sack of toys. And I was like, oh, this is cute. He's like, of these, like you see him at the store, but like, I know you don't have any, but it's Winnie the Pooh, you got to have it. Oh, sorry for the sirens. And he was like, do with it whatever you want. So it sat in its box on my bookshelf collecting dust for months. And then he started collecting Lion King because Simba is like his Winnie the Pooh. Like he loves Lion King. And he was kind of showing me like, look how many Lion King Funko Pops there are. Like they have so many. I want to get them all. And I was like, oh, I should get all the Winnie the Pooh Pops. Are there more? And so I downloaded the Funko app and was like, holy cow, like there are so many, like there's so many versions of Winnie the Pooh. And this was like 3.5 years ago. So like the amount of pops then, like compared to now, because they released like 6 new Winnie the Poohs last year, is pretty crazy. So I kind of like downloaded the app and started making a wish list. And then I went to Barnes and Noble. And I saw that they had like a bunch of Harry Potter Funko Pops, and they had all this stuff. And I was really into Harry Potter stories as a kid. As an adult, my love for it is very conflicting because I just, all of the controversy, but it's the stories are special, the characters are special to me, and I picked up a Harry Potter Funko Pop as like the first one that I ever bought for myself. So it was like Winnie the Pooh and Harry Potter that kind of made me spiral, and like going to Barnes and Noble and seeing how many they had, like the fact that I could like buy 2 at a time and like leave the store with 2 new Funko Pops was so fun. But yeah, it kind of like I like to use the word spiral when I talk about it, because that's truly what happens, I think, is like you really just like become obsessed. And I have seen friends experience this after kind of like turning them onto the world of Funko Pops. I've had it happen myself, my boyfriend, like it's very easy. It's an obsessive thing, because if you have that little itch inside of you to begin with, like if you have that collector DNA strand, it's likely that you're gonna really like them. And Funko's motto is everyone's a fan of something. So
Absolutely.
anyone can find a Funko Pop that makes them excited, I think.
I understand. I have the Farrah one, and I'm waiting for the rest of the Charlie's Angels. They haven't done them yet. But so, talking about that, how do you feel when you go to the Funko Pop store here in Los Angeles?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like Disneyland. I mean, I was actually just talking to a friend, CJ, his handle is Sidekick Inc. on TikTok and Instagram. He came to LA last week. We went to the Bullet Train premiere together, and when he was in town, he went to Funko Hollywood, and he was like, the first time I went, it was like so overwhelming, so crazy. And he was like, what's weird is like I went the second time, and it was like obviously I loved it, but like I was like, oh yeah, I've done this before. So like in a way, like it does sort of like lose its shimmer. Like I walk in and I'm not like, wow, like anymore. But I still appreciate, like, it's amazing to like go to a space where like it's literally all Funko, not just Funko Pops, Funko products like Loungefly backpacks and the wallets and the vinyl figures and the sodas and the Funko Gold, and there's photo ops, and it's so exciting to be there. So, I'm so lucky that we have a place like that. I love the new like kiosks with the touch screen that you can use to pop yourself. Before it was just like pencil and paper and you like filled out what you wanted. But I got to pop myself with the kiosks when I went to an event at Funko Hollywood with eBay a few weeks ago. And just like being able to go to something like that, like because you just have time. Like, I mean, I live in Pasadena, so like it's like a 15-minute drive. And it's so nice to be able to do that because there are so many people. Like, it makes it special that so many people wish they could go.
Yeah. They must roll out the red carpet when you come in. They're like, oh.
Oh gosh, as if.
So fantastic. Well, let's start looking at some of the collectible, some of your stuff.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do some your favorite.
Well, I'll give you like a quick little overview.
Oh,
So,
yes, here we go.
um, also for anyone watching, I get questions, will you do a room tour, things like that. I actually do have a room tour on my YouTube channel. I am bad at YouTube. I do not post a lot. I am generating short form video content all the time. And YouTube is just like scary to me because it feels like I need to put more effort into it. I need to do more editing. The videos need to be long. It needs to be interesting. And there's way more people doing Funko Pop content like in the way that I do it on other platforms on YouTube, if that makes sense. Like I struggle being like, no one needs to see me do a Funko Pop hunt when like Top Pops is like already doing that. And things like that. So you can subscribe to me on YouTube. It is a thing. I want to post more. I've started posting some shorts, so I'm experimenting, but it's fun. So YouTube, I have a room tour, and basically when you walk into my room, so like I have a hallway here, and coming into the bedroom, a lot of people don't realize like I sleep in my collectible room. So this is my bed. It is like a day bed style, so it comes out from the wall and goes horizontally against the wall rather than sticking out. So my Winnie the Pooh collection is on that side of my room. So I have a 100-acre wood map on the ceiling here, all my Winnie the Pooh pops, and yeah, the shelves are like built into the bed, super sturdy. I don't move them when I sleep. I don't really move when I sleep, so maybe it'd be a problem for someone else. But I have my Loungefly backpacks. Pretty much all my Loungeflies are Winnie the Pooh. But I have those starting on the wall there. And then this is the only light source in my room, which is why I now have a ring light. And then my other Loungefly bags are here. And this is like an anime collection of Funko Pops in the corner because just got to maximize the space. But this is where I work. I have a 9 to 5 and I sit there and have the same Zoom background that I had a few minutes ago with you to my coworkers. And they see my collection all the time. But on the other side, so from my desk to here is where my 3 big bookcases are. And, I stand in front of these and film content all the time. This is the bulk of my collection just because I am able to display a wholly crazy amount of Funko Pops at once. But yeah, these are actually like just this tall. That's where they end, and you can buy an extender. So the reason they go to the ceiling is because I have like a 14-inch extender on all 3 of them that you can buy as a bundle from IKEA. So this is the Billy bookcase. It's like a game changer. You have let's see if you can see, there's like little pegs along each bookcase, so you can actually customize the um height of all of your shelves. You can buy additional shelves. The bookcases come with like 4 automatically, so I purchased like 4 to 5 additional shelves for each bookcase and make do that way. But it's honestly like part of my like favorite like experiences collecting is the display part. I mean, I kind of have it as like a creative outlet. I love to like, work with the space and do fun like displays like this where I have, risers and different things like books that come into play, and like I have Freddy Funkos next to my TV. Or like my Jurassic Park collection up here, which is always fun. But yeah, for the most part, like I see my collection as like an outlet for, my expression as an individual that likes things like Disney and collecting in general, but also it's creative, and with content I get to be creative. And the reason I actually started the Pop Nook as a social media page was because I was photographing my pops. So of course, like I've brought myself into the experience like quite a bit, because that seemed to be working on TikTok when I started last year. So for that reason, it's changed quite a bit. But my roots as a creator online were to just do creative pictures of my pops, because I've always been a photographer. So I was like, how do I like have fun with like creative concepts with these figures? And that was kind of how I started. So it's like evolved a lot because I've obviously like changed with the apps and recognize like the importance of video. And it's really honestly easy to be a creator in this space, because I can make 10 videos in one day just with like comment reply videos on TikTok, because people are like, show me this or show me that, or what's this, or how do I get that? But yeah, my room is like not very big, but I've had friends come over and be like, wow, like it feels like so much bigger than like you would think, having your bed in here and having all of your collection in here. And so I pride myself on a strategic placement of all my crap.
Nice, yes, and of course, and then you of course have to dust all the time too.
Yes.
Yes, especially since yours are not in the box, which is a little maybe easier. Out, you must just start from what? Do you have like a daily routine, like a monthly routine, or?
So with my Winnie the Pooh side of the room, because the shelves are dark brown, the dust becomes apparent much faster. So like I typically notice it over there quicker than I'll notice it here, because on the white shelves, it's like it takes a lot more to be like, oh, I need a dust. But my process is typically just like row by row with my bookcases. I like to do it in sections. So like I'll knock out a bookcase at a time and then take a break, and then I'll knock out my Winnie the Pooh side of the room and take a break, and then I'll knock out my desk and take a break. Um, I mean, that's pretty much it. I dust like my TV stand and stuff too, because there's pops over there. But the more pops you have out of box, the more potential dusting you have to do. But I'll just clear a shelf, wipe the whole shelf down, put the boxes back, and then dust the figures as I put them back on. So like I could probably have an easier way to do it. I use a makeup brush, and I kind of like the meticulous, like just each one, dust, put it back, dust, put it back. But like some people do like the pressurized can of air thing where you can like do it really quickly, and I love that. But um yeah, I mean for me, I kind of like enjoy the process. I think it's like cleaning is like a reset for me too. So like my dusting days are usually Sundays, not every Sunday. Never will I ever try to claim that I dust every week. It's really it's like likely that I only really dust the entire space like head to toe like once a month, but I dust all the time just because like if I'm rearranging a shelf, I'll dust it before I put it back. And
Yeah.
so sometimes like the flow gets interrupted because I'll be like, oh well, I dusted half that shelf the other day because I rearranged half the shelf, but everything else is super dusty. So and like I said, the Winnie the Pooh side, it tends to get dustier. And I think it might also be because it's like near my vents for the AC and everything. So
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
what was the most expensive pop that you ever bought?
Wait, let me go grab it.
All right.
It's a Winnie the Pooh, believe it or not.
And grab your first Winnie the Pooh too.
Oh, Well, here's the funny thing. I don't actually have it in my room because
What?
I have my holiday pop. It's a holiday pop,
Oh,
and I
okay.
keep my holiday pops in my storage unit.
So do I.
Um,
So do I.
yeah.
Mine's only Star
So,
Wars.
I mean, it is my first pop, so I could have it out, but it's kind of like it gives me that like yearly cycle to be like talk about my first ever Funko Pop when Christmas comes around. Um, yeah, so like I have like Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. I only have one St. Patrick's Day pop, but those are all in storage because I'll typically like bring them out and do displays and create content that way. But this is it's my highest trending value pop, and it's also the pop that I've spent the most money on. So this is, let me see if I can like do it like this instead. Yeah. So this is the flocked Winnie the Pooh holding honey pot. This is the original mold of Winnie the Pooh. So the first ever sculpt that Funko made, number 32. Yeah, 32. And this came out for 2012 San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm not afraid to take it out of the box, so I will. But it is limited to 480 pieces. So the high trending value is because of that. And I found this pop. Someone was selling it for I think they had it listed for like $750. I did not spend that much money on it, but I messaged the person. So here he is. He's super cute. This even just the regular version, the non-flocked version of this pop is pretty high value. The first handful of Disney pops that were ever made all maintain quite high trending values. And since this was only the 32nd ever Disney pop in general, not only just the first Winnie the Pooh pop, um, it stays up there. So like even without the flocked figure, it's like 175, 180, close to $200 sometimes. So I found this person on Mercari, one of those, apps that you can buy, sell on, and he was selling it for like 700 something, or yeah, I think it was 750. And I messaged him and just said like, hey, I am like not looking for any like special treatment. This is like my grail of all grails, as we call it. And I just want you to know that I'm like interested and I am gonna like it so I can save the listing, but I'm just gonna be keeping an eye. And it just goes to show that it like never hurts to reach out. Um, because he was like, oh, like no worries. Like I know stuff like this doesn't always move very quickly. Like, are you a big Winnie the Pooh fan? And I was like, I am. This was a while ago though, too. Like coming up on probably like 2 years having this figure. And I didn't really have like this was maybe the last pop that I needed at the time for my Winnie the Pooh collection. And so what I decided to do was just start saving my Mercari credits and just like sell stuff and like you can make a profit at some point if you're hanging on to pops and then selling them later and all of that. So I think I probably saved up like 400, almost $500 of credit over like the span of a few months. This listing was still there. There's not a lot of pops out there. So when you find one, typically it's like there for a while because people don't jump on a price like that usually very quickly. But at the time, it was over like $1,000 trending value on the Funko app. And he still had it listed for like 750. It's not perfect condition. Like the box is not mint. It's hard to find a box that's mint condition from 10 years ago. So um, I saved up a bunch of credit, and then there was like a period of time where I like did a couple collabs on social media. At the time I was doing lifestyle content creation on my personal Instagram page. Saved up like $200, and I ended up messaging him being like, I'm almost ready to like purchase this pop. And he gave me like a crazy deal, and I got it for like less than $600. And I felt like, I can do this because I've been like saving this money. And it's like, it felt like, okay, sell your pops to buy a pop. Um, and it's crazy to even say that I spent over $500 on it, but I feel like that's the way to do it because I always tell people like, save your money, sell your pops. Like the best way to get a grail is to not just like jump on it unless you can. Like if that's you, like go ahead. But for me, it was like a strategic, like meaningful purchase. So I like saved up and felt like I did it the right way. Um, and now it's worth like almost $1,500. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I would have like really gone for something like that right now.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So I was watching some of your your content, and you had gotten from one of the people who created a what are those called? It's called uh, variants. The variants. I didn't know they made variants in the Funko Pop world.
Yeah.
Is it often they do that? And how hard is it to find these things? It sounded like you spent quite a bit of money trying to find that one. Then they've sent one. Tell me a little bit about how the variants actually happen.
Yeah. So if you're talking like specifically with a chase, the chase is the more rare, exclusive version of a figure, which does not always occur. Not every pop has a chase variant. When we talk about variants in general, there could be a diamond collection pop where it's glittery, or there could be glow in the dark, or flocked where it's fuzzy, just like that Winnie the Pooh. But those variants typically just occur at an exclusive level. If it's like a flocked pop, or something that's glow in the dark, you could get the exclusive version from Hot Topic, and that's easy. But the chase is just these select figures that can be like that 1 in 6 chance of occurring in the wild, as we call it, or whatever. So like an example is, I don't know if you're a Schitt's Creek fan, there's this pop of David Rose, and this is the regular version, and the chase references like another outfit from another episode. So it's the same box. They both have this as artwork on it. Nowadays, the chases are having their own artwork on the box, but it's just like an exclusive version of a character. So when they have a chase variant that exists for a character, you can either order it and have the chance of it coming as a chase because of whoever packaged it in the mail, or you can find it in person. And I've had a few experiences where I'll buy like 4 or 5 of a figure and not even get the chase. Some companies offer a 6 bundle where you're guaranteed that chase, but then you're stuck with 5 commons, as we call them. So you can do that. For me, I feel really fortunate because of my audience sizes. Like if I do a 6 bundle and I get the chase, like I post a video about it and the commons are gone in like an hour. So people will buy them off me, which is nice. And I never like, I'll just sell them for what I bought them for, so that I just like don't lose any money. It's not like for profit at that point. It's just the convenience of getting that figure. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've had to wait quite a bit to try to find one before.
That's crazy. So now the Winnie Pooh is your favorite. What is your second favorite pop that you have?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I'm a really big fan of Darth Maul from Star Wars. I love that character. This is my latest Darth Maul that I got. I have most of the versions of him. There is one that is worth almost $8,000 that I will never have. And he's like a light blue glow in the dark. Right. I don't know if Santa likes me that much, but I love Darth Maul. My second favorite like Disney character is Rex from Toy Story. So I love the pop of him. There's only 2 out there. And the original is this one, and he's super cute. And this is a funny pop for me because when I first started collecting, I found one for like $30 on eBay, and I purchased it, and it came from China, and it took like 3 weeks to get here, and it was a fake. And so like I always laugh like looking at this pop because it was like one of the first pops that I was like super excited to like spend more money on, and then it ended up like not even being real. And then this one is a box lunch exclusive that came out a little more recently, and it's like him from Toy Story 2 playing the video games, which is so cute. So he's like my second favorite Disney character because I love Toy Story, and I just think he's such a charming little guy. But yeah, it's really hard to say. I think my like top 10, if I have one, is like ever changing. I've made a video before, like here's my current top 10 Funko Pops. I don't even know. It's like so hard because there's so many. But yeah, occasionally a pop will come out and I'm like, wow, this is like one of my favorites to come out in a while. But then soon one comes out and I change my mind.
Talk about that. Do you have something that you're looking for, or something that's coming out that you're excited about?
Ooh, there is Hot Topic has like a new series right now of Disney villains, and they're like a mystery set. It's like called the Villains Assemble series, and they all will connect when you have all of them. And I've just been really excited about those because they're decorative and they have like cool concepts. I just unboxed the first one that I got today. It's Hades with Pain and Panic. And I'll take it out to show you a little up close, but there's 6 in the series, and the way that they do these releases is that they'll show silhouettes on the back of the box there, and it'll be like a hint at what's coming, but they're pretty obvious here. It's like Scar and Yzma, and then like Maleficent and Ursula and Dr. Facilier, but they all get released separately, and then as they come out, you can put them next to each other on the shelf and they like connect. So this is what Hades looks like, and you got Pain and Panic with him, and so it's like a villain series but like with their like sidekicks or like henchmen characters, and each one will go next to each other, so they're like pretty large and like detailed, and I'm all about the details. As someone who collects out of box, I've created a series on my TikTok channel where I like show pops with really cool like Easter egg details on the backside. So for me, that's so fun. So I love stuff that I can hunt for. I'm really excited about that series. But yeah, the mystery stuff is always fun.
So how many pops do they release a month? Do they do in quarters, or how, you know?
I mean, there's releases, it feels like every day. I keep up on the original Funko Instagram, and I mean, I feel like I'm probably tuned in to like a release that I care about once or twice a week. So if I think about it, it's like, okay, maybe there's like 4 drops that happen a month that I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna want that. But that's just like a drop. Like within that drop, there might be 6 pops. Like they just released or announced Stranger Things 4 Wave 2, and that has like 8 pops in it alone, or 10 maybe. So they're releasing stuff all the time, but I think that's like kind of the nature of like Funko also being like the most popular that it's ever been, is like they're like, we shall deliver. Like Squid Game came out and they announced the pops like before the season even ended, but then the pops came out a year later. So it's like, it's just crazy. Like they announce so much stuff, and you'll notice on their posts sometimes it says artwork isn't final, so like they haven't even gotten full approvals, and they're like posting like, here it comes.
So are you on a budget with a monthly budget on your pops?
So yeah, typically like my rhythm of spending is that I'll only allow myself to spend on pops what I make on TikTok. So like I have the creator fund. Once you hit 10K on the app, once you hit 10,000 followers, you can join. I did not. I waited until I got to like 150,000 to join the creator fund, because I didn't want it to like affect my engagement, because I had heard like whispers of like, once you join, they stop pushing your videos. But then I talked to some people and they were like, no, I fully have had videos go viral while I'm in the creator fund. So I joined at like 150K, and you know, to be transparent, I mean, it's not like a lot of money. Like it's anywhere, if engagement's like decent, it's like maybe $200-300 at the end of the month, or if engagement's pretty good, it's, you know, $600-700. So I'll typically just be like, whatever I get, I can spend, because that's like on top of my income that I already have. So, but you know, if it's like a crazy amount, obviously I'll throw that in my savings or whatever. But right now I'm actually on a bit of a spending break. I've just been like, rent went up, you know, I got lots of bills to pay.
That's true.
And eventually just kind of catches up, and you're like, I need to just like take it easy. And so I've been focusing more in my content just on like, you know, I've been kind of like stockpiling packages that have come in the last couple of weeks, and just taking my time unboxing everything, and you know, focusing on the things you already have, because like that's a really great like reminder for people, is like, you don't always have to be like getting the next best thing, or you don't always have to be getting the new drops just because it's trending. Like you can still talk about it without having it, or you know, show what you already got, because that's what people want to see too.
Absolutely. So where can people see you on TikTok and Instagram? What are your handles?
So it's the same pretty much across the board. ThePopNook. The username's kind of funny, really short version. I was into Animal Crossing and Funko Pops at the same time over COVID, and Pop came from Funko Pops, and Nook came from the main character in Animal Crossing, and I was posting content from both, and then as I got more into Pops, it became just Pops. And then on TikTok, when things kind of started to take off in January of last year, I just kind of ran with it. So you can find me at ThePopNook on TikTok. Same with Instagram. My YouTube channel is the same, but it's just 3 words, ThePopNook. Twitter. I think that's like all the major. I might jump on Snapchat soon, but we'll see. Already got a lot to maintain. But
yeah, you're already doing a lot. I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, Blake, thank you so much for jumping on here and sharing your collection. I hope everyone loved. I've been showing photos of your collection throughout our conversation. Thank you so much. Keep doing it. Keep the Funko Pop alive.
Oh yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And everybody out there, if you're a collector and you want to be on the show, please DM me. I would love to talk about your collection because I love collectors. I'm a collector, so let's talk about collecting. Thanks so much, Blake, and have a
Thank you, thank
Funko
you.
Pop life. You are. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.